started here. So, happy Pride Day in Belchertown, everyone, right? And just look at this. This is Belchertown right here. We have sold out this crowd here, right? We have, so my name is Jamie Michaels. I'm the coordinator of the Pride Flag ceremony this year and the co-founder of Belchertown Pride. And we just want to thank all of you for taking the time to come out here. And just imagine, for every person here, I think I know 20 people who are kind of so sad because they can't make it tonight. So there are hundreds and hundreds of more people right here in Belchertown who want to be here, and so they are here in spirit. So we are going to have a program with a wonderful lineup of guest speakers, and we're going to honor a remarkable LGBTQ+ Belchertown resident. We're also going to read the proclamation that the Belchertown Select Board passed unanimously in support of National Pride Month. Yeah. And then after that, whether rain or shine, we're going to raise that flag, right? So I'd like to thank our special guest speakers, and I'll be introducing them one by one. But in the lineup is, we have our state representative, Aaron Saunders, Chief of Police, Kevin Pacunas, our honoree, LGBTQ honoree, Bonnie Strickland, Natalie Santana, the Secretary of the School Committee, and Lisa Lessard-Pearson, Select Board member. So those are our guest speakers. I'd also thank you so much for our guest speakers for coming today. And I'd also like to give a special thank you to some guests here, which is Kristen Ellico, who is the new Western Mass Director of the Governor's Office. So now Western Mass has a straight line to the governor, to Governor Healy's ear. And so let's give it, let me Kristen. Oh, there she is. So she was able to make time to come here to Belchertown for our flag raising. So we appreciate that. Tell Governor Healy thank you. Okay. And another special guest that we have is Ori Sussman, who's the president of the Social Justice Book Club at Belchertown High School, who will be helping us raise the Pride flag this year. And also we're going to have another student, Daniel Thompson, and I think some other students are going to join us too. So it's going to be a party outside by the flagpole. I want to thank so many people, but don't worry, it's not going to be the Academy Awards. I'm not going to go through a boring list of that. But there's so many, it took a community-wide effort to organize this event in record time. And I just want to give a heartfelt thank you to all the people who rallied and who came forth and helped in making all of you put out the word and to make this ceremony happen. So thank you. But special thank you to the Clapp Memorial Librarians for their wonderful Pride exhibit. And we're having Charlotte Cassidy, who's behind the camera, who's filming this event right now. And yay, Charlotte, because it's going to be going on CCTV. So we will have a record forever of this event. And thank you for your excellent PR work, Charlotte, for the event. And I also want to thank Lou Lorraine from Belchertown Community TV for all of his help. We appreciate that, Lou. And let's see here. We're going to start. But first, let me say our deepest gratitude to our sponsors. We had Florence Bank, East Hampton Savings Bank, UMass 5 Colleges, Federal Credit Union, and Stop and Shop all stepped up and said, yeah, we want to be a part of Belchertown's Pride flag raising ceremony. And if you haven't seen it because of our vast crowds here, we have all this bank swag. So it's kind of like the Academy Awards, you know. But it's free, and feel free to help yourself thanks to our banks. So now we'll begin. I'd like to start with introducing Representative Aaron Saunders. He has hit the ground running. And he's only been our rep for 6 months, but oh man, this guy is everywhere. I mean, you know, everywhere, everything, all at once. That's Aaron Saunders. Where is he? There you are. No, it's okay. Just hang on for a second. So he's awesome, and I'm so happy that he's our rep in Belchertown. You're taking really good care of us, and I just want to thank you, Aaron, for taking time out of your schedule to be here today. So please welcome Aaron, Representative Aaron Saunders.
Good afternoon. This is wonderful. Before I go, only because I didn't think it was going to be in the country for today, but literally off the plane, through the airport, and his first stop here even before coming home, Senator Jake Oliveira is with us. Can tell you that in Western Mass, we don't always have the numbers when it comes to population, but the legislative delegation that I have an opportunity to work with here in Western Mass, Senator Oliveira's representation of Belchertown, Senator Joe Comerford, our neighbors to the east, representatives like Mindy Dom, Natalie Blay, it is an absolute all-star team, and it has made my job immensely easier walking into a well-oiled machine. So, Senator, thank you for being here today. We have a lineup chock full of people who are all likelihood more interesting than I am, so I will keep it brief, but to the point. Jay, thank you for putting this together. This is incredible on such short notice, and even at the last minute, putting this hall together when the weather wasn't going to cooperate. Thank you. We've come so far. On my way over here, I was thinking about my first job in state government. I was the chief of staff for Senator Oliveira's predecessor's predecessor, Gail Candaris. She had represented Belchertown around the turn of the century. And one of our first orders of business at the beginning of the 2007-2008 session was to deal with a proposed constitutional amendment around equal marriage. This is not ancient history. It wasn't even 15 years ago. It was the first time I got a chance to see where Massachusetts was, personally, on the issue of equity, on the issue of where we stood with our LGBTQIA plus community. And in 2007, Senator Candaris joined a majority of her colleagues in ensuring that Massachusetts was going to be home to equal marriage and equality. It hasn't always been easy since then. I vividly remember the names and the faces of the folks who would tell us the sky is falling, society was going to collapse if we didn't let those who love each other. And some of them are still active. The work continues today. We read about it. It hits closer to home. It's not in far-flung places. It's not only in Florida, it's not only in Texas. It's in Western Mass. Our work needs to continue. And events like this, the show of support as to where our community truly is instrumental to making continued progress. And let me just spend a moment on talking about what I think continued progress looks like. It lies largely with our youth. It's supporting our LGBT young people. It's ensuring that the rash of violence against our trans community is dealt with clearly and unequivocally. It's paying special attention to the mental health of LGBT youth who, if any young person feels awkward going through those middle school and high school years, I can only imagine if you're meant to felt marginalized by adults around you. This needs our urgent attention. Senator Oliveira has been there every step of the way. I give you my word, I will be too. Thank you again for being here, and I'm looking forward to dancing between the raindrops out there and raising that flag.
Thank you, Representative Aaron Saunders. Excellent. Appreciate it. And yes, welcome, Senator Oliveira. Thank you. Thank you for coming. Straight from Europe. Thank you. So we're going to continue on. And now it's my pleasure to introduce the Chief of Police, Chief Kevin Pacunas. Chief Pacunas is a lifelong Belchertown resident and has been on the Belchertown Police Force for over 26 years. I've been reading up about him, and what I really loved was he said in several interviews how he is committed to building trust in our community, and that he deeply values community engagement. I really appreciate that. And when we invited him to come today, his assistant David said that he was really happy to be invited. And that made me really happy that he was happy, because I don't think every flag raising has their chief of police come and speak. So I think we're really lucky here. So thank you for coming, Chief, and please welcome Chief.
Good evening. Thank you wholeheartedly for inviting me here tonight. It is my pleasure to be here. Contrary to what Representative Saunders said, it is not going to get more exciting as speakers come up. I'm going to be brief, but it's an honor to be here, and thank you. It's a pleasure to be here to celebrate and mark the beginning of the Pride Month here at Belchertown. I want to thank Jamie, Representative Saunders, and Select Board Member Lessard for putting this together and inviting me. Thank you to you three. I think it's important for our community to know that the Belchertown Police Department supports equality for everybody. Hate is not acceptable. It is not tolerable. We do not accept it. And I think it's also important for the people of Belchertown to know that it is safe to live in Belchertown. Not only it is safe, but it's important that you feel safe. So we hope that is the case. Everybody feels safe. Raising the pride flag tonight in front of Town Hall is going to help foster that inclusiveness so that all members of our community can feel safe and welcome. Again, thank you for inviting me, and happy Pride Month to everybody. Thank you.
Thank you, Chief. Appreciate it. All right. So we're here to honor, we're doing a special thing. We decided to do something once a year to honor an LGBTQ resident, Belchertown resident. And I've known Bonnie Strickland for 44 years, and I thought she would be a good pick. But I had no idea until I read her whole bio, all the amazing things that she has done. I mean, it's like 10 lifetimes packed into one. I mean, truly, truly awesome. Bonnie's right here, that's why I'm doing that to her. But anyway, so it is my deepest honor to introduce Bonnie. And I'm going to say a little bit more about her. So Bonnie was born in 1936. She's 86 years old and one of Belchertown's eldest LGBTQ plus residents. She's lived an extraordinary and highly accomplished life whose work has benefited and impacted millions of people for generations to come. And you will find out why. But that is not an overstatement. I can only give you a few highlights of her life today. I could be here for hours, but I recommend you read her widely acclaimed memoir, Leaving the Confederate Closet, A Southern Lesbian's Journey. And her book is at our local library and also on Amazon, and it's right over there. Bonnie grew up in Alabama to a very poor family during the Great Depression. And she worked very, very hard to go through the academia and to achieve her PhD in psychology, and eventually became a nationally renowned psychologist and expert in her field. She did hundreds of research studies. She was the chair of the psychology department at UMass Amherst and the national president of the American Psychological Association. She is a big deal. You are a big deal. During the horrible era when homosexuality was considered a mental illness, Bonnie, this is her field, in psychology, so Bonnie was on the front lines fighting very hard. This is like the early 70s. Very hard to have that diagnosis eliminated. And exactly 50 years ago this year, 1973, the fight was finally won. Now it sounds pretty bizarre now, but that was a really huge fight. And for her to be fighting that in her profession in the 70s was incredibly courageous and trailblazing. Just a little bit more about Bonnie. She's testified before the United States Congress several times, as an expert. They wanted to hear from her, including advocating for the support and funding for research and treatment for people living with HIV/AIDS. And that wasn't a popular topic either when she was talking to them. In addition to all of her professional success, I mean, it's a million miles long, okay? But we can't go there. But just trust me. So in addition to all that, Bonnie's been a social justice activist for over 60 years. She was involved in the civil rights movement in the early 60s in Atlanta, Georgia. And yes, she met Dr. Martin Luther King. And yes, she met all the famous leaders of the civil rights movement. And then she was an activist in the peace movement in the 60s and 70s. And then the women's movement in the 1970s. And then the LGBTQ movement starting in the 70s, right? And she's still a social justice activist. Amazing. So, given all of her professional work and social justice work, you'd understand that Bonnie would not have any time to volunteer for Belchertown committees. But wait, we're talking about, this is Bonnie Strickland. Over the years, Bonnie has made the time to serve Belchertown in so many ways. Member of the Police Search Committee twice, member of the Historical Society, member of the Committee on Aging, member of the Lakes Committee, and Belchertown representative to the Hampshire Council of Government. Like I said, I've known Bonnie for 44 years. I'm still in awe of her and all that she's given to the world, her family, and her friends. She also is a wicked fierce pickleball player. And if you are playing pickleball, and you see her across the net from you, all I can say is that you better bring your A game, because you're going to get wiped clean. So please, please give a huge welcome to our honoree, Bonnie Strickland.
Thank you. I can't believe that I'm being recognized for being a lesbian and being a dyke, being old. Okay. Being a lesbian and being an old doesn't usually have many perks. But thank you, Jamie, Lisa, the rest of the select board, and all the many of you for planning and organizing this powerful event. I didn't believe that we would have such a crowd. I couldn't imagine that so many of you would attend today, but I'm so glad you did. I suspect I'm not the oldest lesbian or trans person in Belchertown, or gay or lesbian male. In fact, there may be folks here that are older than I am and deserve this recognition. But some, especially of my age, subjected to a lifetime of discrimination and harassment, may have chosen to live invisibly to the straight world in the closet, but we are also recognizing them today. Age can have its benefits. The oldest resident of Belchertown receives a golden cane, and as the oldest resident playing pickleball, I recently received a golden paddle. If I had been identified or outed as homosexual in my early adult life, I would have lost my job, I could have been jailed, referred to a mental hospital, shunned by my family and friends. But so much has changed for the better for lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, queer plus people in my lifetime. Here in Belchertown, I can live openly and happily with my partner, my beloved partner. LGBTQ plus people can marry whom we choose, and we have been fortunate with pro-LGBTQ plus legislation that protects us. Unfortunately, laws are now being enacted in many states attempting to regulate the lives of LGBTQ plus people and denies our civil rights. The Human Rights Committee, the largest LGBTQ plus civil rights organization in the country, has proclaimed a state of emergency for LGBTQ plus people. In this year alone, more than 525 anti-LGBTQ plus bills, mostly affecting trans people, have been introduced. This has been compared to 115 such legislation in 1915, and 76 of these new bills have passed. Belchertown must continue to be vigilant and a beacon of hope with activities such as this. I've had the good fortune to have received some accolades and recognition during my lifetime, but none are as meaningful to me as this. I'm so happy and proud to live in a community that can raise a pride flag and hold an event like this, signifying that Belchertown recognizes, respects, and is inclusive and supportive of its LGBTQ residents. Thank you.
Bonnie, that was fantastic. Thank you. We wanted to give you we're going to give you something here, and this is a very special vase that a queer artist, Belchertown queer artist, wanted to give you. And she made a statement. It's Charlotte Cassidy behind. She's an artist, and she wanted to say to you, she said, "I'm so honored my art was considered to be gifted to Bonnie from a queer artist to a lesbian activist across generations." That's exactly what I hope my art does: uplift and shed light on queer lives and build community. All right. Whew. Okay, so our next speaker is Lisa Lazard-Pearson. Lisa is Belchertown's newest select board member. She was just elected this May, and she made Belchertown history when she was elected the first out LGBTQ+ select board member. Lisa has been an LGBTQ+ activist for several decades. She was the vice chair of the Governor's Commission for Lesbian and Gay Youth. She's also the co-founder of Belchertown Pride. And I just want everyone to give Lisa a really warm welcome. Thank you for being here today. And please welcome Lisa Lazard-Pearson.
Well, hi, everyone. Yep, I'm gay. First, I really want to thank the residents of Belchertown for giving me the opportunity to represent the whole community as the newest member of the Belchertown Select Board. If being open about who I am helps other people to feel safer, feel more welcome, and feel respected and heard, then yeah, I also want to thank the other members of the Select Board because the flag raising this year was passed with a 5-0 vote, and that says what I think it says is that the leadership in town supports a diverse community. It supports a community of all kinds, because together we create better decisions. By having lots of diverse voices, we can be more innovative, we can be more nimble. We have the opportunity to set in motion the kind of community we want to be. And I think that's incredibly exciting, and I'm so happy to be a part of it. I'm most especially happy about what I hope the message is, especially to young people in Belchertown. You know, I was the vice chair of the Governor's Commission on Gay and Lesbian Youth. At the time, the commission was set up in response to a youth survey, a youth risk survey, that identified LGBTQI+ youth at being at higher risk for suicide, drug addiction, alcoholism, and unwanted pregnancy. The commission was formed so that we could address those problems. And we created the first Safe Schools program in the country. I had the opportunity to work with visionaries that fought tooth and nail to make sure that every high school, every public high school would have a Gay Straight Youth Alliance that was funded. You know, I went to the Springfield parade on Saturday. It was really amazing, and you should go. Anyway, I won't go on that. And I saw the commission there, and I found out that they're no longer being funded. And that's a problem, because you can have an alliance, but without any money, any funding for programming, everybody's sort of sitting around going, yeah, now what? And so I'll be working again with the commission to see if we can get the state to do the right thing, help fund the kids so they have programs and services right there in their schools. And then, just lastly, I want to thank Jamie, who, she and I met each other a year ago. We were both fighting mad that there was no pride flag in Belchertown. It seemed like we could change this. And on the spot, we decided to work together. And in 3 weeks, we went from, this is not right, to going before the select board and having the pride flag go up the following morning. God bless this community. God bless it. Because there were those that said it couldn't be done. There were those that said, Belchertown will never change. I say, Whatever we want to do, we can do together. We've got leadership with Aaron and Jake. We've got an amazing police chief. We've got all of you. It's not just about what I'm doing as a select board member. It's about each of you. You're actually the deciders, not us. And so I'm going to plug this because I promised I'd plug it at every single meeting I went to. If you do no other thing this year, go to town meeting. Vote. Thank you.
All right, we're wrapping this up. So in order to be able to fly the flag, a proclamation has to be passed by the select board, and it has to be read. So I won't go into the legalese about all that, but trust me, it does. So as a select board member, and any other select board members would like to come up?
Yes, where's Peg? Come on up, Peg.
Yes, good. This is Select Board Member Peg Lorraine. So I'm going to leave this over as the official proclamation of Belchertown, read by Lisa and Peg. Thank you.
You read, I'll applaud.
Excuse me?
You read, I'll applaud.
All right. First of all, Peg told me that there was no way she was going to miss this event, and I'm so glad to share this mic with you tonight. Okay. So, proclamation for National Pride Month. Whereas the month of June is recognized and celebrated as National Pride Month throughout the United States at the federal, state, and local levels, and whereas LGBTQIA+ Americans, including those who live in our local communities, face discrimination, bullying, and acts of harassment and violence simply for being who they are and for whom they love. And whereas National Pride Month celebrates LGBTQIA+ Americans and honors all Americans who tirelessly support and advocate for the equal rights and acceptance of all lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, and queer people. And whereas the recognition of National Pride Month sends a clear message to all of our residents that the town of Belchertown is committed to being a welcoming, inclusive, safe, and respectful community for everyone who lives and visits here. Now, therefore, be it resolved that on this day, the 8th of June, 2023, the Belchertown Select Board hereby proclaims the month of June as National Pride Month in the town of Belchertown.